Ever struggle with trust? I mean, really struggle? If you've ever felt that being cautious was some kind of weakness, well, we're about to flip that idea on its head. We're going to talk about something called the wisdom of pattern recognition, and it might just be your greatest strength. I bet you've heard this one before, right? Maybe from a partner or a friend, heck, maybe even a therapist. And the word just lands right in the middle of a conversation. You're guarded.
Or how about this one? This one can sting even more. Cold. It's a label that basically says you're not warm, that you're just closed off from any real connection.
And man, that's a heavy thing to carry, isn't it? These words, these labels, they make you feel like you're broken, like there's some kind of defect inside you. But here's a thought, and it's a big one. What if the diagnosis is just wrong? What if this isn't a bug, but a feature, a really, really powerful survival mechanism?
Okay, so let's start by tackling that heavy label head on. You know the one I'm talking about. Trust issues. It gets thrown around so casually, but man, it carries a ton of weight. And you know what? It almost always misses what's really going on. I mean, society's take on this is pretty clear, right? If you don't just jump in and give everyone the benefit of the doubt, you're cynical, you're paranoid. It's always framed as your problem, some kind of flaw that you need to fix. But that whole way of looking at it, it's missing the most important part of the story.
So let's flip this. Let's look at it from a totally different perspective. What if your hesitation, your caution, isn't paranoia at all? What if it's perception? What if it's actually wisdom?
This is where we change the whole script. The myth is that it's paranoia. The reality, it's pattern recognition. They say it's a flaw, I say it's a survival skill. They might see you as broken, when the truth is, you're just incredibly observant. So let's give it a name. The thing we're really talking about is high pattern recognition. And what is that? It's this incredible ability your brain has, probably built from years of experience, to process all the little bits of data from the past. It's like you're running these super fast calculations that spot toxic patterns and inconsistencies way, way before most people even have a clue. So that brings us to the big question. Why? Why do you see those red flags first? Why does that wall sometimes go up so fast when everyone else is just oblivious? Well, it all boils down to one simple thing: speed. And here's the absolute key. You're not being difficult, you're not overthinking it, you are literally just processing behavioral data faster than most people. You don't need to wait for the big explosion, you can hear the bomb ticking long before it goes off. Just think about how this actually plays out. You meet someone new. For most people, things seem fine. But for you, that little internal ticker starts. You're picking up on the micro behaviors, the tiny inconsistencies. While everyone else sees nothing, you're collecting data. And then, bam, the smoking gun event happens. And to everyone else, it's a huge shock. But for you, you're not surprised at all. You knew it was coming. Okay, let's make this super simple. Think of your intuition, this incredible pattern recognition system, like a really sophisticated smoke detector. It's not there for when the house is on fire. It's there for the very first sign of trouble. Think about it, right? Most people need to see the flames licking the walls before they believe there's a fire. But you detect the very first, almost invisible particles of smoke in the air. That's when your internal alarm goes off. And yeah, sure, that alarm might annoy other people. They can't see the smoke yet, so they just think you're being loud. But that alarm isn't broken. It's your safety system working perfectly. So, okay, what do we do with all this? How do you use this new understanding? This is the best part. This is where you get to reclaim your own story. It's about finally learning to trust what your perception has been telling you all along. Remember those labels we started with, cold and guarded? Let's redefine them right now. Being cold? That's not a lack of feeling. It's a defense for someone who feels things so deeply that they've learned not everyone gets a front row seat. And being guarded? That's just what it looks like when you value your safety and your peace of mind. You know that old internal monologue, the one that used to pop up? You'd get a bad feeling about someone, and your brain would immediately go, "Why am I so paranoid? What's wrong with me?" That voice of self-doubt, it's exhausting. Well, now we have a new script. The next time that feeling hits, instead of asking what's wrong with you, you can ask a different question. What pattern did I just recognize? See the difference? You stop attacking yourself and you start getting curious. That single shift from self-criticism to self-analysis, that changes everything.
So let's end with this. The next time someone tells you that your walls are too high, remember, your walls aren't there to keep you lonely. They're there because you have learned firsthand what happens when they're not there. They aren't a prison, they're a fortress built from wisdom. So trust that feeling. Trust your pattern recognition. It's not a flaw, it's your superpower.